Assalamualaikum everybody. Hello. How's it going? Everyone's staying safe at home, eating junk that you shouldn't be eating and cooking and baking stuff that you shouldn't be. Well, that's exactly what I'm doing. So today, right now, I'm going to go ahead and try and bake this, use this new recipe to bake giant chocolate chip cookie. So the entire recipe is supposed to bake 6 cookies only. So this is the first time I'm trying it, so experimenting it with you guys. So let's see. So first, as usual, for most baking, you have to get the dry ingredient, mix the wet ingredient, combine them together. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I have all my ingredients that I need nicely arranged over here. Flour, sugar. This one will call for cornstarch, baking soda, vanilla, chocolate chip, brown sugar, and all that. So, by the way, my phone is standing on this tripod that I bought months ago, but finally using it. Worst thing I've ever purchased. It's so flimsy, like it has 3 legs, except it won't stand. Just a little bit of touching the phone, it flips over. But anyways, I'm making it work, so it will keep on working. So let's see. So, first of all, I have all my tools that I need, my measuring cups and everything. So, you will need a cup, 2 cups and a quarter of flour. So, 2 cups and a quarter cup of all-purpose flour. So that's what I'm gonna take. Can you guys see? I mean, you can see my big fat face, but can you see everything else? Anyway, so here is the flour. So always when you take flour, don't pack them, make it nice and loose. So just loosen it up a bit, and then you have the flour, pile it up like that. Use a knife, and then nicely. There you go. That's 1 cup. Then cup number 2, same thing. Loose the flour, loosen it up, and then you scrape off. Cup number 2, and then a quarter cup. A quarter cup. Do you see it? These lights, I swear. Alrighty, quarter cup flour. Alright, so you add that, and then you add cornstarch. I should have sifted them, I think. It would work better. Well, let's do that then. Let's sift them. Let's get another bowl. Let's dirty up another clean bowl. I'll get my handy dandy sifter. Dump this flour that I just measured in this one. Alright, so that's that. One more bowl to clean. And then you go ahead and add your cornstarch. This is the first time I'm using cornstarch in a cookie. So 1.5 teaspoon cornstarch. So let me find my 1.5 teaspoon. I found my 1/2 teaspoon. And let me find my 1 teaspoon. There. 1 teaspoon. 1.5 teaspoon. So cornstarch, I got the Food Lion one. Do the same for cornstarch. Take a heaping spoon and then use your knife to scrape it off. So here, take that. Okay, 1.5 teaspoon cornstarch. Here's 1 teaspoon. And another 1/2 teaspoon. Jeez, this is messy. There you go. Alright, 1.5 teaspoon cornstarch. You wanna shut it off? I'm live. Come on, shut it off. Lahat got a haircut today, like after 3 months. And he looks so nice. There, see? He had those long hair like last time, and now he cut his hair. It looks pretty good. Cookie banana. Cookie's more important. I don't even have dinner ready for the kids. So what? Cookies for dinner. Gosh, a giant sized cookie. Should fill them up. All right. And then baking soda, 1 teaspoon. Same again, same spoon. Baking soda. So cornstarch, baking soda, not baking powder. Now, I'm going to have to open this up because there's no way I will be able to get baking soda out of there. So, I don't like it when boxes don't open right. I mean, why would they make something that you cannot open properly? Like, seriously. Okay, now that I've ripped this packaging, it's ripped. Anyways, so 1 teaspoon. Baking soda. That's there. And then half a teaspoon of salt. Salt enhances the taste of sweetness, but not too much salt, okay? Half a teaspoon. All right, before I start sifting that, I'm going to set the oven, preheat the oven to 325 degrees. Everything inside, no. What is it? Okay, preheating. Oven is preheating. So I'm going to sift this. Flour. That's that. Look, it's all over the place. So now that's ready, you put this aside. Okay. And I'll have to wipe this place off because it's sturdy. Okay. All right, now the wet ingredients. So I'm going to use my, let's turn this around. I'm going to use my KitchenAid. Yes. So it's going to be, let me clean this up a little bit. It's going to be all the wet ingredient in here first. So you're supposed to be using softened butter, not melted, softened butter. Now I've left this butter out for a little bit. Probably melted. I mean, it softened so much that the whole box turned greasy. Can you see? Greasy. So you take, it says you have to take 1.5 stick of softened butter. Good thing I have 3. So here's 1. This is going to be interesting, trying to open this up and get every single bit of it. I don't even see the opening. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Ooh, it's sure is softened. I'm going to take this bowl out and then pop it in here. See? Softened butter. 1 stick. Come on. See? It was so, there you go. I'm going to scrape this all off. And dump it in here. Sorry about the music, it's so loud. All right, that's that. I don't even have enough. Where do I put this? Here. And then another half a stick. Now, this will be interesting because I have to cut half of it, but it's so melted. Ooh. Oh gosh. is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is exactly half. Okay, so another half a stick of butter. There you go. Now that's that. 1.5 stick of softened butter. And then in that, you're going to add 3/4 cup of brown sugar. I have this lightly packed brown sugar, 3.25 cup. I don't have a, to think of it, I don't have a container for brown sugar. Maybe I should get one. What do you think? 3/4 cup. So where is my 1/4? Here's my 1/4 cup. No. Okay, so you use 1/4 cup 3 times. Okay, so that will make 3/4. So loosen it, put it in, press it down. 1/4. Another 2/4. And 3/4. Now that that's in, you have to add granulated sugar, 1/2 cup. That's a lot of stuff. 1/2 cup sugar. Regular white granulated sugar. All right, 1/2 cup. Just that. Now, you have to combine this in medium-high speed for approximately 2 minutes or until it's combined really well, okay? So let's do that. So, how's life? Life is okay. Tiring. As you can see, dark circle. I don't know why I can't sleep. Except, my skin has always been bad, but recently it's a little bit better because I don't go to the sun anymore. And I realize my left side of the skin is normally worse than my right side. And that's because, what do you know? Because I used to drive, or I drive. So all the heat kind of, mess with my skin. Anywho, another minute. Ooh, it looks so good. Almost there. After this, you're going to add the egg. 1 egg and 1 egg yolk. So let's get that ready. Okay, almost. 1 egg and 1 egg yolk. Let's get a bowl to keep the egg white. If you can see me. I'm too scared to mess with this. Okay. Now turn this off. And turn this up. And then 1 egg. 1 egg. And 1 egg yolk. Jeez, what is up with this egg? I don't think I can get the egg yolk. Okay, so just the egg yolk. that. She needs to wash her hand. Okay, 1 whole egg and 1 egg yolk. And then you add 2 teaspoons of vanilla. 2 teaspoons is a lot. Vanilla is expensive, I tell you. So when it says 2 teaspoons, I cringe. But you know, it calls for it, so you gotta put it. So here, 1 teaspoon, 2 teaspoons. There you go. Now that's done. Let's mix it again. And I can put these away. I might have to scrape it off a bit from the side because everything is like stuck on the side. It can smell the vanilla. Why is it smelling coffee? I didn't put any coffee in here. There you go. Okay, while that happens, I'm going to line the baking sheet with parchment paper. 2 baking sheets because this is supposed to be giant cookies. It's going to spread and touch each other, so it's best to use 2 cooking sheets. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to use my parchment paper and I'm going to go ahead and ready. That's mixed. Perfect. Now I'm going to start adding the dry ingredient. This is the dry ingredient from before. I'm going to go ahead and use a cup to help me dump them in, or it's going to be like all over the place. So. Ooh. Did you just see that? What a mess! What a mess! My eyelashes have flour on them. Ugh. Quite the mess. Like 1/4 cup of the ingredient because of the way it just flew out of the bowl. All right. I'm going to have to scrape it off a little bit. gonna scrape you down. Already as messy as is this. Whew. No one told me this was gonna be a messy one. Well, since it is, I might as well just go on with it. All right. Okay, time to add the chocolate chip, but you know this place is just Okay, so now time to add my chocolate chip. You're supposed to add, how much chocolate chip? 1.5 cups. So cup. You can add any kind of chocolate chip you have. This is what I have. Semi-sweet is what they suggest because it's already so much sugar in it. But chocolate chip, so milk chocolate. One cup. And a half a cup. It didn't say anything about folding it in, so I'm gonna see. Will this break the I think I'm just going to use my spatula. Is it 6 o'clock already, ladies? Yeah. Alright, it's their TV time. Yeah. They are allowed to watch TV for 2 hours each day on weekdays from 6 to 8. If dinner is ready before that, they eat dinner while they're watching. And if dinner is not ready, they eat after Maghrib prayers, which is usually after 8:30. Go to bed at 10 most nights, or rather start getting ready to go to bed at 10, because you know you have to pray at 10 something, the Isha. After that they go to bed. But this is all because you know there's no school, because school nights normally they go to sleep at 8. All right, so now this is what it looks like. Okay, so I didn't get mixed up that well in the mixture, so I'm going to just try to use my spatula. All right, don't work too hard with it, because or else your spatula is gonna break. Geesh. All right, so 6 it's gonna be 6 cookies. Now I'm gonna try and make 6 cookies, so you can use like a half a cup to do that. I never remember how to open this thing ever. There. Now, dirty. So I have to move this whole thing. It's really heavy though, but I have to, because this place turned really dirty and must clean it a lot of. My oven is also ready, so I'm going to, here I put parchment paper. I'm going to try and put 3. One. Jeez, these are going to be gigantic. Should I make 6 cookies only, or should I make smaller ones? I don't know. This seems really big. And I think I'll need another baking sheet. This is like huge. So 2. And another 2. Jeez, this is huge. Yep, no dinner today, cookies dinner. Alright, so I didn't prepare another cookie sheet. I don't know how much it's gonna spread, but I mean, look at this gigantic size. Look. Right? That's huge. So I'm gonna put these 2 in the oven. It's supposed to bake for 20 to 25 minutes because it's supposed to bake really slowly. So 20 to 25 minutes, and then you have to cool it for another 15 minutes. So, vanilla. So, I'm going to set the timer for 20 minutes because you know you don't want to take the risk of it burning. Actually, you know what? Let's do between. I'll do 22 minutes. 22 minutes, and I'll leave it right here while I try to clean up this place. You guys can stay, you guys can leave. If you leave, you can see the end result later. Did you see the mess that I made? You see? This is just crazy. And I have to find a container for this. See, I broke the box. Yep, I did. All gone in there. Like, how do I clean that? I have to use like a brush or toothpick or something to get everything out of there. Yep. Always a good idea never to work with these stuff in the corner of the kitchen, because it's harder to clean. I just have to wipe it down another time and we're good to go. Yeah, see, I told you this is a horrible tripod thingy-majigs that I have. Eee! There. Alright, so I still have this much cookie dough left because it's supposed to bake 6 large, gigantic cookies, but I had 2 tray ready for it, and I want to see how those 4 turn out first, and then depending on that I'll decide on the size of the cookie that I make for this one, and then I will do the rest. Now that I've somewhat cleaned up this baby, let's put it back. Okay, but it's not fully cleaned. I have to do better in a little bit, but not quite yet. Alright, cleaning is done. Now what I have to do is washing, but this is for later. What do I do with this? Oh, darn it. Maybe I should put it in like this, but in a Ziploc. Okay, so we are done with preparing the cookie, and now we're just this waiting game, and I'm going to check. It's like this right now. Can you see? Right now, it's still a long way to go. So let me show you something. I don't have a green thumb. I don't like to plant stuff. That's one thing I'm not good at. But recently, Rahat showed some interest, and as soon as he showed the interest, my mom jumped for joy, and whatever she could find, she started to plant. So I will show you what is up. What she has planted so far. A lot of experiments going on nowadays with Rahat being home and, more time in hand to do stuff. It rained a lot today, but let me flip the camera over and show you what is up. Okay. So that's working on the grass because our grass was not even. It was patchy and it wasn't green, and all the neighbors' grasses look so good except ours. Although ours still doesn't look very good, but it's work in progress. He's been doing a lot of research experiments, and so he used this medicine that he sprayed all over. So it says whatever is not real grass and weeds and flowers and do not belong here will turn white and brown, and they will die, and then they'll disappear. So it seems like it's most of the backyard, because see, it's like white. They're all white and they're not truly grass. So whatever is grass is the green, real green one, and it's like flowers, wild flowers everywhere. So this is the first two. My mom planted an tomato in here, and kacamuric, green chili, in here, and planted some potatoes here. These are potatoes. And I don't even know what not. Onion, puishak. Holy moly, I don't even know. This is not even like a good space for planting. That is in there washing. But they planted, so I'm going to try and get them something better so they can plant. But I don't want anything big. I don't want the jungle and stuff. So that's what's going on over here. Jeez, wet. Oh, let me show you one more thing. So the girls are learning about all the prophets. So this week they learned about Idris alayhi salam. So there is not a lot of references on Idris alayhi salam, but we know that he liked to read, he liked to learn. So the project this week for them is to decorate pencils. So they use pipe cleaner, pom-pom, stickers, a lot of mess. That was Roha's. This is Jannat. She basically used everything she could find. You can't even lift the pencil. Everything will fall off. And then she's going to throw a fit, but everything falling off. And the simple one is Ayats. She did this with blue dots in the back and a heart sticker. So this is for the project for Idris alayhi salam. And let's go check the cookies. Oi, look at that. This is definitely going to touch each other. I should have put more space in between. Can I? Is it too late now to put it in between? Space in between? I don't think I can. Okay, let it bake. I'll leave them alone. The girls are watching TV. I don't know what to do with myself. Should I just stop the video? This is all the stuff from the pool that we are going to use again, inshallah, this Saturday. If, weather permits. So this is for that. There's all the mess that I have to clean. How much do we have time left? Oh, more than 10 minutes. So how about I come back? How about I come back when the cookies are ready? How about that? All right. See you guys in a bit. Cookie is baking. Let you know how it tastes. Show you how it looks. And then we will decide what to do with the rest of the cookie dough. And I'll take it from there. See you in a bit.